Hello, it's Elizabeth, your presenter, on the 26th of October. So what have we got for you today? Well, the sun is still in Scorpio. It's in Scorpio from now right up until the 22nd of November. And we're looking at the things about Scorpio because if you are aware of the things that make Scorpio strong, then you can sort of say, well, I'm going to have a bit of that, even if you're not a Scorpio. I'm not a Scorpio. I don't have any Scorpio in me at all. Not one little bit. But I sort of think, that's a good little thing to know. I'll do a bit of that. So here we go. Scorpio is a fixed water sign and it's rather misunderstood. The demonstration of Scorpio's passion and power can be likened to a fire sign. But Scorpio's building blocks are the realms of imagination, time, dreams, memories, sexuality, clairvoyance, and intuitiveness. These nebulous things deliver the type of mysterious, intense permanence which sustains Scorpio on the road it travels. Intensity in all things, enormous emotional depth, piercing seriousness, and their uncompromising truth set Scorpio well apart from the rest and equips them for leadership. Fixed signs refuse what they don't want and either wait for or begin to arrange the arrival of what they do want. So the present tense is very important to fixed signs and therefore Scorpio. So the tarot card that represents this period, October 24 to November 22, is the Death card. Death carries a black flag decorated with a white 5-petal rose, reflecting beauty, purification and immortality, and the number 5 representing change. Together these symbols reveal that death isn't just about life ending. Death is about endings and beginnings, birth and rebirth, change and transformation. There is beauty in death, and it is an inherent part of being alive. Hey, we die at night and revive again in the morning. The Death card meaning in a tarot reading is about transformation, passage and change. We're still in the first decade, or the first 10-day period of the death time. Looking at life the way, which is the 5 of Cups, and we're with the 5 of Cups until the 2nd of November. Looking at life the way it actually is and not focusing on what is missing. This is not too hard. It develops maturity, wisdom, and helps you know how to help others. Scorpio Deacon 1 is ruled by Mars in both systems. It is the Scorpio triplicity. The sun drives through the constellations of the herdsman, the ship, the Virgin, the Cross and the Crown from October 23 or 24 to November 1. You know, they all say different times, I don't know. Scorpio is probably the sign that is the most typecast of the baddie. And it's not surprising that the deacon ruled by the planet of war does indeed contain a few malefics. This deacon is a sharp weapon, but it doesn't mean that it will always harm. The only sharp instrument here is actually the spear shaft, as none of sidereal Scorpio actuality falls here. This is a bit of a paradox, since this is the most Scorpio section of Scorpio, using the triplicity system. The dark edge to this deacon really comes from carrying the weight of the crucifix. The cross represents one having to bear the responsibility of psychic or prophetic ability. The constellation of Crux is listed as having an ability for divination, and the 2 of Scorpio Deacon, the 2nd of Scorpio Deacon, 1's major stars reside in this cross. Being able to tap into other dimensions gives one power that can be used for good or ill. With Scorpio Deacon 1, it is either black magic or white magic, They don't do grey. So I've just written something a little bit further to that. Deep sadness need not permeate every single nanosecond of your inner and outer life. Sometimes if you're being busy or successful or interacting with others, you can still feel a type of loss or depression. You can still feel that you're not truly happy, that you must bear some type of misery, despondency, regret. Hey, welcome to the human race and consciousness. When we begin to learn that we have levels of emotion, understanding, grief, despair, desolation, and can still function, can still manage to get through the day and do what we must, then life fractures open a bit. We look at what could perhaps be a light at the end of the tunnel. We have a reading for a Scorpio 8. A Scorpio 8 has been given a strong and stubborn will. You still require much discipline to keep it under control and make it serve your best interests. For years you may think the world is out of step with you until you realize someday that you must adjust your own wants to the realized realities of everyday life. You are headstrong, argumentative, discerning and secretive. This may sound like a bad-tempered package, but actually it isn't. Scorpio 8s are in fact usually likable, good-natured, highly individualistic people. Your problems are brought about by errors in judgment, not by defects in spirit. Once you set your mind to something, you are like a horse wearing blinkers. You only see your predestined goal, and you are not deterred from it. The cartomancy card, the birth emblem for today, is the Nine of Hearts. The birth emblem for today is the Nine of Hearts, which in cartomancy is sometimes referred to as the wish card, same as tarot, right? The dictionary defines wish as yearn, desire, crave, inclination. Inclination, that's a good word for the Nine of Hearts. Let's start there. What is the inclination of the Nine of Hearts? Well, looking up into the heavens for guidance and understanding, we learn the card above it is the Seven of Diamonds. So the pieces of the puzzle are 9 hearts, 7 diamonds. In numerology, remember that 9 is the number of wise and experienced objectivity. The 9 brings universal love into the mix. The 9 is not given as many opportunities as other numbers. Getting to the end of the single-digit sequence is a massive victory, and like all veterans, the 9 knows and tries to look after the surrounding community. The 9 knows enough to know that there is no doubt enough to keep the community chugging along, but perhaps not enough to allow luxuries for self. When the emotional and loving 9 of Hearts looks up into the questioning and analytical 7 of Diamonds, universal love, the 9 of Hearts, encounters intellectual energy. The 7 of Diamonds is a card of negotiation, measuring, sorting out, and perhaps some gossip. You can assess and measure all you like, but universal love calls to action. And yes, universal love will surely keep the community chugging along. There's always an inclination to desire something personal just for oneself, but there may not be enough to guarantee it. The 9 of Hearts will never starve, but a wish is allowed. It would be nice, but maybe it won't happen. The 7 of Diamonds indicates that flexibility is required, and this is why the 9 of Hearts is this why the 9 of Hearts is called the wish card? Question mark. Universal love penetrates every plan, exchange, wish. As is stated so eloquently in Donnelly Fitzgerald's book, Your Place in the Cards, you must love your neighbour as yourself, and don't forget that he lives all over the world. The reading for the 26th of October in cardomancy. Money very important, and big operations are thought to be the best way to obtain it in large quantities. Many magnates of industry are found here and are usually able to hold their wealth. Should guard against a tendency to penuriousness. Will sponsor philanthropic projects but will want full credit. Good physicians and surgeons, interested in art and music, but not as performers. Need a practical woman as a co-worker. Can commercialise any ability. Funny. Funny, funny. Okay, so the Lenormand card, which also sports the 7 of Diamonds birth emblem, is the birds. Verbal communication, phone calls, older people, several short messages, negotiations, siblings, hectic interviews, chatters. Imagine birds are flitting in the trees, hear the constant chatter. The restless energy, always on the move. That's the Lenormand birds card. It's verbal discussions, gossip and nervous energy. The birds is an indicator of activity in your life. It's where you're spending a lot of energy and the things you're focusing on. In career, the birds often indicate a job interview and job-related stress. In health, the birds card will indicate a need to keep an eye on blood pressure and adrenals. It may also show an issue with the throat or vocal cords. Bit of numerology for the 26th. Remember to finish what you start. Has the power to attract money, people or whatever is necessary, even late in life. Must cultivate optimism and refrain from living in the past. There you go. And the angel numbers. 2 is telling you that cooperation, trust and faith are necessary. And 6 are closely aligned with providing service to others. Okay. Glenville Kleiser says, every day you should plan, initiate, aspire, resolve, systematize, eliminate, concentrate, persevere, work, simply accomplish. Life is made up of work and play, ambition and achievement. You are responsible for the right use of your talents. The days pass quickly by, and the vital things you wish to do should be done with dispatch, lest procrastination rob you of your opportunity and rightful reward. Set your best powers to work today, that you may be able to say at its close that you have made conscious and substantial progress towards a great ideal. There is so much possible to you that you cannot delay an hour without personal loss. Make the best of today and its opportunities. The Theosophical Society for the 26th of October says, we never try to subject to ourselves the will of another. At favourable times, we let loose elevating influences which strike various persons in various ways. It is the collective aspect of many, such thoughts that can give the correct note of action. We show no favours. And the birthday book says, this birth date gives strength of mind and body and resistance to pain. It favours rough physical work, fighting and the fighting services, deep sea diving, heavy weightlifting, professional boxing, endurance tests of all kinds, whether of body or mind, in which an overriding will to win makes up for all else. Choose a partner who shares the same concentration of purpose. I think that's all I've got time for, but the colours for today are pink and rose. See you soon.